Hi, welcome to another episode of Not How to Do Atkins Low Carb. My name is Kent Altman, of course, and I was tagged this week by Tony, the bum, and I have to respond to these 7 questions. So bear along with me. I hope you like my new haircut. My wife just gave me one. I really needed it. It was growing much too long. So without any further ado, here are the 7 questions. What is my favorite body part? And ironically enough, it's probably my lower legs. It's probably one of the things that I noticed first as I was losing weight, where the weight loss became apparent and the muscles came out, and you could actually see the muscles through the skin and feel them. And that was so amazing to me that when I was losing the weight, that, hey, what is that? Oh, that's a muscle. I haven't felt one of those things in forever. And even now, with doing all the running that I'm doing, my calves are readily apparent that they are kind of large. So that would be my favorite body part as the moment. Second one, tell of a time in which being unhealthy really shamed you. Well, like Tony, you happened to be in a amusement park. But unlike Tony, in which he was smartly trying on the seats before he went onto the ride, I unfortunately didn't try the seats before I went onto the ride. And it was one of these rides that went around and flipped you upside down on top. And they had you put the bar down and put it into the seat buckle. And it was a bench floor across. And no matter what I did, I couldn't get that bar on. And I jammed. And it wouldn't go on, and apparently, and everyone's looking at you like, what is this freak doing? And I couldn't get the bar on. So I had to make the walk of shame off that ride, and I've told this story more often than not. That there's nothing worse than having to be forced off a amusement park ride. I was probably the only person ever in the history of Disneyland that was forced off the Star Tours ride, or was just about forced off the Star Tours ride, because they couldn't put the seatbelt into the receptacle. Because normally on airplanes, obviously, they give you an extender belt. While Star Tours, they don't have extender belts for the seatbelt. And I tried to get in there, couldn't get in there, and I made it look like it was in, but it really wasn't. And eventually the flight attendant or the cast member saw on his board that I wasn't attached, and he said, "Sir, you really need to get that seatbelt attached." And finally, I jammed it in one more time, and it went. So, amusement parks, no fun for overweight people, and I've certainly had the case in the past. What numbers are you looking for on the scale? Well, my goal number always in the past was 225. I'm not right at 225 right now. I'm a little bit over 5 to 7 pounds over. I'd like to get back to there, if not a little bit lower than that. So I'm right now just actively just at that pre-maintenance phase, just working out the last 5 to 6 pounds just to reduce the weight back down to the 225. It's nothing serious, just been on vacation, and now I just need to get back to where I've been. What non-scale victories have you achieved or want to achieve? I've talked about my marathon running, and really what's both an achievement, completing one, and a goal of mine is to simply get below a 4-hour full marathon. It's one of those goals that really stick in your craw. That, you know, that's the separation from those that should do a marathon and potentially those that shouldn't do a marathon. I'm not saying those that walk a marathon shouldn't do it. It's just, as a runner, I think that's kind of my mental barrier. Just like being at 225 was my goal on being fit versus non-fit for myself. 4 hours and less is my goal for that full marathon. What does being fit means to you? Well, it means the alleviation of all this health-related concerns that, excuse my rabbit as he's drinking in the background. I can't train him not to drink when I'm making these videos, so bear with his drinking. It means alleviation of all those health concerns that I formerly had. Sleep apnea, you know, the borderline diabetes and all those sorts of things. Being fit means all those things are in the past. I don't have to worry about those things. It also means from a performance standpoint, from an athletic standpoint, I never have to worry about my body being the weakest link. It's my mind is going to be the weakest link if I'm going to tire out. So when I'm on the fire call, I don't have to be the guy who has to be taken out because he ran out of air first, or that he wore down first. You know, I want to be the guy who excels in whatever he does physically, that you set a task before me and I can accomplish it. That's what being fit means to me. It means I don't have the concerns or the diseases, and I don't have to use my body as an excuse anymore. Number 6, would you ever consider weight loss surgery? Well, being at gold, that is sort of a non-issue anymore, but let me take a step back from when I was at 429. Absolutely, I consider weight loss surgery. I went to obesityhelp.com. I went to all those weight loss surgery websites and read their concerns and their posts and their after actions. And I was probably this close to trying to find somebody to actually do a consult on me. But luckily, I found Atkins beforehand. Why do I say luckily? Is because obviously weight loss surgery does impact your body. It's a lifelong decision. It's just like getting a tattoo. It's you know, just like any other permanent decision that you want to make. You don't take it lightly. It's not like buying a car in which you can get rid of it if you made the wrong decision. It's a lifelong decision, so you're stuck with whatever you want to do. I would encourage everyone looking at it, would view it as such. Make sure you look at all your options first. It's not a wrong decision. It's just one that I won't take lightly. It's a momentous decision. It's even a bigger decision than buying a house, because you know what? You're making whatever you're doing, you're going to be stuck with for the rest of your life. Not just 30 years, not just 15 years. It's for the rest of your life and what you're doing. It's not a wrong decision. If you needed to be healthy, go to it. I'm just glad I was able to do it without the Atkins, personally myself. What makes this journey so hard? Well, for me, it was all up here. You know, there's part of me I have the two sides of the coin. I have both the lazy side of Kent that just wants to be at goal right away and just can't wait to get there. And obviously going out for a run sometimes isn't always the easiest thing to rev yourself up to do. And the other half of the coin is that I'm really, really busy. I'm too lazy to say no to some things. You obviously see I'm a fireman. I've taken second jobs. I have 4 kids, a good family life, and I also have a very busy primary job. It's all those things wrapped together that sometimes make weight loss a secondary concern to just normal life in general. So that's what it is. It's one more thing leaped on top. That's one of the reasons why I think it being a lifestyle is such an important thing, that you're not just bolting on weight loss onto everything else you're doing. You're trying to ingrain it into what your body already is doing or what your mindset is, so that it just becomes inertia. That was what made it so, and eventually got me over the hump of it being so hard to it being just what Kent is. Kent just doesn't eat carbs. Kent just doesn't, when he goes out to eat and orders a hamburger, he just simply says, I don't want a bun with that. And when they look at you, I said, well, you know, I just don't eat buns. It's just one of those things. It's just inertia. It's not a mental thing anymore that I have to do something extra. It's just who Kent is, and Kent orders this and does this, as I talk about myself in the third person, which is really annoying. So that's what gets it over being so hard, is once you start making those choices, and those choices become routines, and the routines becomes just habits, and those habits just become a lifestyle, and you just do that because that's who you are. So that was how it, that's what made it so hard, was 1, the combination of lazy/busyness, and 2, the loss of your former routines and trying to develop new ones to make them your new inertia, the new who you are. So thanks for tagging me. I'll probably try to tag a few more people in the video show notes. And thanks for watching. Good day.